Hello and welcome to another edition of me playing Twisted Metal. My name is Drew and I hope you enjoy. What I'll be doing today is a little bit different. Now, I've done a series where I take each character and see how they evolve through all the games. I've done it with Sweet Tooth, Reaper, Roadkill, Spectre, Shadow, and Axel. But what I want to do today is see how the first level of each game evolves over the course of the series. And so we'll start with Twisted Metal 1, 2, 3, 4, Black, Small Brawl, Head On, Lost, and finally 2012. To see how each game handles the introductory stage. Because I think for a lot of these games, especially Twisted Metal 1, this will be the first way that you experience the game. And we'll see how they handle that. It's a big weight to have on a franchise, and I think this game handled it pretty well in a pretty unique way. Without further ado, let's just get started. I always feel weird to ask, but please make sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment with your thoughts. It does a tremendous amount to support my channel, these videos, and it motivates me to keep making more. So if you enjoy what I do here, please show your support and engage with this video. Hit that like button. Thank you so much. But we're going to start with our boy Sweet Tooth. He appears in every game, so we can see in a short way how he evolves over the course of the games. So this first battle here is called Arena Duel, and it's exactly what it says on the tin. It's an arena, it's a duel. And the lore for this level is that, you know, Calypso's in that little window there, if you can see him, just hiding away with his women and heavily armed guards. And the idea is that if you win this round, this qualification round, you are able to participate in the rest of the tournament. And so this is a sort of 1v1 just to have the right, you know, the privilege to play in the tournament. And it's very simple, it's very easy. I mean, it's a 1v1. This game, especially as Sweet Tooth, you can just sort of bop into people and take them out almost accidentally. So Sweet Tooth is an absolute wrecking ball. And not just that easy. That's the first level for Twisted Metal 1. Very short, very fast. And now we're here with Twisted Metal 2 to see how this game handles its first level. And I would argue that this game's version of that first introductory stage is probably the most iconic, memorable, and frankly, most well-designed version of an opening stage. It's LA, baby! Now, unfortunately, Sweet Tooth is not a default character for this roster, so we have to put in a code at the vehicle selection screen. That code being up, L1, triangle, right. And that gives us our boy, Sweet Tooth, the ice cream man himself. And let's see how he handles this opening stage. Now, of course, Twisted Metal 2 is the most perfect assembly of code ever devised by man, and we're all very grateful to have it in our existence. So we live in a timeline that includes Twisted Metal 2. We're all very happy for it, and we all sing our praises every day. We pray to the gods that are Twisted Metal 2. However, in this game, I do tend to actually enjoy this opening level. Like, for me, it's what lets this game be fun until it kicks you in the balls repeatedly on the later stages. But this game, it's a sort of a Trojan horse. It eases you in with this fun level, then ruins your fun every step of the way after that. And I have to get my bearings here because I'm using the 60 FPS mod, and I'm using a Xbox One controller as part of the emulation. And so I'm using an analog stick for this game, and it was never designed for an analog stick. But it works fairly well, although Sweet Tooth handles like a fucking bus wrapped in butter. All these bouncy moon gravities are working against me constantly. So worry about Roadkill first, or Warthog, I mean. So I've learned with some of these characters, you have to handle them certain ways. So for Warthog, if you stay away from his front and you just hit him in the side, like you stay perpendicular to him at all times, then you'll be fine. Just treat him like an anxious horse, and you'll be fine. But this opening stage, very simple, very bright, very colorful. I think it represents the game perfectly. On top of it just being a well-designed map. Because it's got just enough variety in its different areas with like the moat of highway surrounding it. This power station here, there's a tunnel on the other side of the map, these bombed out buildings. I think it just, everything this game wants to be, this game handles it perfectly. And I can't play the soundtrack on here because I think it's copyright. I think it might be a DMCA strike if I do. But its soundtrack is iconic. One of the most amazing soundtracks in a video game, especially for the 90s. Just outstanding stuff all the way through. Alright, Roadkill. He's not going to be on his freeze game just yet. He's going to wait till we get to New York before he starts ruining my fucking day. So we'll take advantage of his cowardice by smashing into him repeatedly. Sweet Tooth, once again, is an absolute wrecking ball. and he will not be stopped. Looks like Roadkill is fleeing the scene. We won't let him. We're too good for that. There we go. Take him out. Yeah, Sweet Tooth, very, very good in this game. At least as far as I can tell. His armor's pretty good. His special weapon is surprisingly good. I do enjoy using it. However, I would say that his handling is especially bad for this game, whose handling in general I find to be very frustrating and tedious. Okay, that remote one was a little bit late. I was hoping to plant that while they were still frozen, but no such luck. I'm at the point with this game where my skill is all in my head. I do not have the dexterity or the muscle memory or the skill to apply it as I'm playing it, but I know what I should be doing. I just suck at doing it. Now we'll try to take out Warthog. Your Grasshopper is making life very hard. There we go. We should be able to force feed them a napalm. Yes? Yeah, we're doing some serious damage here. There we go. Perfect. Although we need to go. Oh god, don't blow up on the fucking furniture of this map. One thing I really don't like about Twisted Metal 2 is that bouncing into walls will actually actively do damage to you, which is real fucking annoying for people like me who just smash into everything because I just don't know how to drive. But once again, skill issue. There's nothing wrong with this game. It's all inside of you. All the problems that you have, it's all because of you. The game did nothing wrong. The game is more of a litmus test for humanity. You want to know how you measure up, how you stack up in the grand scheme of things? You play this game. If you can handle it, then you're A-okay. No need to work on yourself anymore. But if you suck, well, then now you know what you need to work on, which is everything. Your heart, your body, your spirit. Every part of you needs to improve. And once you're worthy of this game, you know you're worthy of life. And now we're down to Spectre once again, so Spectre being the final opponent on both of these opening levels. Fascinating stuff. What does it mean? Possibly nothing. In fact, more than nothing, because he was the only opponent on the first level in Twisted Metal. But we can take him out pretty easy, I think. There we go. Sweet Tooth special weapon for the win. Regenerates very quickly. And now we're here for Twisted Metal 3, where once again I have to input a code to play as Sweet Tooth. And we're going to bump up the difficulty from Cream Puff to Twisted Metal. What am I doing? What's wrong with me? Okay, there's our boy Sweet Tooth, looking as horrifying as ever. And the first level of this game, I think it gets a lot of shit for just being kind of basic and boring and gross looking, but I actually enjoy it. And we'll get right into it. So Twisted Metal 3 was the first effort from 99 Studios, so those first two games were made by developer Singletrack. And now we're moving on to where the studio making this game had nothing to do with Twisted Metal up to this point. They did not want it, they were forced it. Because Singletrack, the original developers, had a falling out with Sony, and so they went on to make their own game, Road Trip Vacation 2012. But, you know, Twisted Metal at the time was such a powerful franchise that Sony couldn't just let it wither away. And so they gave it to the studio here, 989. And they did their goddamn best. And in my opinion, they made a superior game. Of course, not everything is perfect about this game. But I think in a lot of ways, it matched what Twisted Metal should be. A fast-paced, fun car combat game with colorful characters and rich, vibrant levels to play on. Did everything get perfect? No, the physics are a little frustrating, especially for your big fat boy Sweet Tooth here. Although I will argue that this version of Sweet Tooth should not exist. I mean, that head on top, just get out of here, man. I'm done with it. But here we have Hollywood is the level. And I like the aesthetic of it. I like the sort of dark, grungy, gritty, gross version of Hollywood destroyed by what I assume is an earthquake, is what they tell you. It reminds me of the sort of aesthetic that Twisted Metal Black would eventually use in its game. And I really appreciate it. You know, I like the sort of urban, decaying environment that it is. Because the later levels in the game, some of them have that same aesthetic, and I really do enjoy it, like Tokyo or Blimp. But the other ones, I'm not so big on. You know, Egypt, for instance, is just awful. I hate it in so many ways. I'm struggling to get a hold of Outlaw here, who seems to be driving away despite being frozen. Just force feed him a bunch of napalms. There he goes. Now it's just up to flower power. Can we take her out? The world may never know. We'll go ahead and freeze her, and we'll force feed her a napalm right up her ass. As is tradition. Perfect. And there's your first level down. Not much to say about it besides the aesthetic is cool. And I think the layout is actually pretty damn good. So shout out to TM3 for putting together a game whatsoever. Well done, friends. Well done. Alright, friends, now we're here with Twisted Metal 4. However, what I'm playing here is a mod of Twisted Metal 4, which changes around a few things, including how many enemies appear on the first level. And so this won't be a perfect one-to-one version of what you played as a child, but it should be approximately close. But this time I think I'll skip Sweet Tooth because he is just ridiculously overpowered in this game as he took over the tournament. And so we'll switch over to somebody who's a little bit more reasonable. Let's do our friend Calypso, switching places with Sweet Tooth. We'll trade them Sweet Tooth for Calypso this time around. And the first level here is called the Construction Yard, and it's probably my favorite level in the entire game, if not Neon City. This is probably a controversial take, but I think that this game's level list is sort of like album. It's constructed like an album, in my opinion, where like the first one or two songs are like the bangers, the singles, right? And you might have like another single buried somewhere late, and then maybe your last song is, you know, another great single, but everything in between is sort of filler, in my opinion. You know, Road Rage, The Bedroom, Amazonia, Minions Maze, like, to me, those are just not good maps. And of course, that is my opinion. I don't want to impart that opinion on anyone else. That's just how I feel about it. This is, I think, without a doubt, and again, controversial opinion, without a doubt, this is my least favorite Twisted Metal. And you can say it's because I just haven't played it enough, but the reason I haven't played it more is because I just don't really enjoy it. However, Pedro's mod that he made for this game makes it infinitely better for me to play. I really do enjoy it, and it's fantastic. Okay, and they also change around in this game the accelerator and the brake. So most games it's square for acceleration, and it's X for your tight turn. This game flipped that around because they hate you. I think it makes sense because a lot of other driving games do use the X button as the accelerator, but I think this game being more of a fighting game in cars versus a car, simulator, I think that I don't want the cars to behave like they do in other car games. I want them to behave like fighting game characters. And so it's easier for me to use square and X as my gas and tight turn because it gives me more control when I do these quick maneuvers. And uh-oh, I don't want to fall into the flames. Please help. Oh god. Okay, we got our shield up. I don't know how to get up there. The full health is up there, and I just never know how to get up there. Every time I jump, it just doesn't go quite high enough. But I like that this first level is sort of like it has this hub area with the crane, and it's flanked by 4 unique areas that all have their own little layouts and pickups and things. It just makes it's such a fun environment to explore, and it's so well laid out. Like, I can't say enough good things about this level, because this game is very well put together. There's no question about it that this game it's definitely solid. I just don't have as much fun with it as I do with the later games in the series, and really just in general, the PS1 games I just don't have that much fun with. I'm sort of spoiled by Twisted Metal Black, Head On, Lost, 2012. Those are my games, the later games in the series. Just the rich, smooth gameplay. I think the sensibility of learning from everything that came before it, I think that definitely helps. Because for me, this is a series that just progressively gets better as it goes along. A bit of a speed bump with Head On in some ways. That felt kind of like a rough go at the series, but for PSP, it's fine. I think we have to put it in the context of its release, which is, it was supposed to be a PS2 game. It wasn't a full release. It was sort of a PSP spin-off, just something to put on that mobile platform. All right, let's start doing some real damage to these guys, because I seem to be sort of shitting my pants as we're playing along here. Okay, I could have sworn that I killed Bug Eyes, Goggle Eyes there. Old Dale Gribble with the cockroach shooting fire out of his ass. Could have sworn I killed him, but apparently he survived the onslaught. And for that, we won't forgive him. That nuke is insane. I mean, the damage output it must be doing has got to be bonkers, just through the roof. This is mutually assured destruction at its finest, fellas. Now let's see if I can pepper him with some... Homing missiles. This guy's tough. This guy's good. Of course, ramming doesn't do all that much damage in this game. You have to do all the damage yourself with your weapons. You cannot rely on that. And there goes the crane, unfortunately. No more crane. And now we're tasked with battling Crusher. And I have no weapons because I'm a fool. I'm an idiot. And I've died twice because I fucking suck at this game. But it's always fun to go back to this game. This one feels the least like a Twisted Metal game, in my opinion. I think it's the one that strays the furthest. And not that means it's bad or anything. It's just the one that, for me as a Twisted Metal fan, I connect to the least. You know, most of the roster is... I mean, there are some returning characters, but they don't return in a way that sort of makes you feel like they're the core pieces of the roster. Like, when you first play the game, like, you don't unlock anybody. You know, all the characters you have, for the most part, are all new characters. I mean, Pizza Boy, Orbital, Quattro, Rob Zombie, right? The Joneses, Trash Man, Goggle Eyes. Like, it's just a lot of brand new characters that you really have no connection to. It feels like a completely different game. Like, all the things that made Twisted Metal seem familiar in Twisted Metal 3 are now gone. Now, I appreciate... It's like it's force feeding some homing missiles. I appreciate that Twisted Metal 4 and 99 Studios were trying something new, because I think the formula did get stale in some ways. And so I can't blame them for, you know, being forced, essentially, to make a Twisted Metal game, and they wanted to make it their own. I understand that. That's a great instinct to have as a creative person. However, when you're dealing with a franchise that has so many beloved fans, or fans that beloved the game, you know, I think to not pay them as much fan service, it does make it harder to appreciate. You know, so you always have to strike a balance between, you know, iterating on what people always already loved, as well as, you know, trying to innovate. So that balance between iteration and innovation. And this game, I feel like it tried to innovate a little bit too much, and now feels unfamiliar to me. And I don't connect to it very much. Whereas like Twisted Metal Black, I felt like was a nice balance there with that iteration versus innovation dynamic. Because it iterated by basically giving you the same core gameplay and tone as some of the other games, but cranking up the atmosphere, the mood, the darkness through the roof. And that's your first level. That's Junkyard. Or fucking Construction Yard, whatever you want to call it. And now we join my favorite game in the series, Twisted Metal Black. And I'll be going through it as Sweet Tooth once again. Having just completed my series on Twisted Metal Black, I'm very proud. That's the first time on a single save that I've actually beat every single character. And so I've officially unlocked Minion the right way, even though I used a cheat code to unlock him before that, but now all is right. All is well. I've done it. And let's try out Sweet Tooth. Let's see what he's got in store for us. On the first level, the Zorko Bros Scrap and Salvage, the Junkyard. It's now the high-fidelity 60 FPS gameplay we've all been craving and waiting for. It's now here. And Sweet Tooth in this game is very powerful with this special weapon. It just regenerates very, very slowly. But this map has a lot of neat little nooks and crannies that we can explore. And I'll demonstrate some of that as best I can while destroying all these opponents, because they can all go completely fuck themselves. Especially Axel. That man does not deserve to be around. So right now what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the plane. There's a plane that circles the map. I'm waiting for him to come into view, and then I can convince him to land, opening up these sewer grates. However, I need a fire missile to do it, because homing missiles don't seem to be fast enough. And one thing I've learned while watching other people play this game is that when they shoot down the plane, convince the plane to land, they do it in a very strange spot. I always do it over here. You know, I shoot the plane while it's flying in this area, and then I can track it as it goes to the final resting place. But there it goes. Although it doesn't want to track. Hello? Can you track? Okay, well my missile did not work. So bad demonstration. But I guess now I can demonstrate what other people do. What I have I didn't know was even an option up until lately. But when it goes to this side of the map, when it flies over this cliff overhang, now we can grab it, because this is where it flies the closest to the level. So this makes the most sense. But you can actually shoot it down at any time. As long as your missile can reach it, it will shoot it down. Convince it to land. But this gives us an opportunity to watch it as it is, I'm assuming, freaking the fuck out in the friendly skies. Now we can try to get over here for the money shots. What we've all been waiting for. It's a little bit late. Don't worry, he's coming. And there it is. Well done. And he conveniently crashes right into a sewer, lining up perfectly with its hole, as one might. So this tunnel, while giving us a few weapons to play around with, a lot of homing missiles for some reason, now also gives us access to the unlockable character, which in this case would be Yellow Jacket. But I've already unlocked him, so he's not there. But this would be where you unlock him. And then you escape by going through this way. And that's what that big door on the ground is for. So let you escape. And you cannot access it from the other side. So the only way to get back in is to go through the plane hole. Alright, let's not let fucking Roadkill destroy us. Let's take him out. Got a lot of special weapons. Let's use them all. Of course, if enemies just decide to dip perpendicular to me, all my missiles just do not land. They don't track very well. They try to go in a straight line and then they like turn at the last second. Like they just do not track very well at all. Maybe it's best if I just go point blank. Not sure. Now the second cool part of this map is that I can go and destroy the Pizza Boy statue. We have to sacrifice him for the greater good. He's happy to help the cause, but you can tell he would enjoy life more than being a destroyed pile of garbage. But he doesn't have a choice now, does he? My poor, sweet Pizza Boy. Oh, I've yanked, fucking derped both my shots there. There we go. That should take him out. And looks like Outlaw wants a bit of this. No, we won't let him have it. Well, he's probably gonna fucking kill us. Helicopter, please. My God. God, I was sliding for like an hour. Jesus Christ. It's a good thing this map, I don't know if the AI really changes on the first level, but it feels like they're a bit more forgiving when it comes to Junkyard, which I'm very thankful for because it gives me a chance to run around like an idiot, destroying things that don't necessarily need to be destroyed. Here we go, we can get on top of the Crusher. Well, theoretically, not this time. Let's get rid of some of these assholes. There we go. There goes Crazy 8. I have 4 environmentals. For why? For what reason? Who am I helping? Guess I'll need every single one of them to actually make this shit work. Come on, someone come over here. Roadkill, thank you. Well done. Oh, Junkyard Dog, you fool. Oh my God, why do these missiles are just suck at tracking, dude. Completely. There we go. Should be able to pound him. Pound him right in the ass. Well done. Fucking bank shot at myself. What are the chances of that? What are the fucking odds? There goes him. Let's grab a turbo so we can get on top of the Crusher so I can show off what wonders are waiting for us at the top of the world. Axel, I'm gonna have to ask you to calm the fuck down, if you don't mind. Okay, so we'll wait for it to drop, and then we jump onto its belly. Or we get onto its back. Fucking Axel. God damn it. Alright. You wanna play like that? You wanna be a fucking shithead? Alright. Alright, see you later, pal. That takes him out. Let's go back to the bridge. And I've used all my turbo. Fantastic. What a game. What a lovely, lovely game. Okay, Crusher, time to get onto your back. Take me for a ride. It's a carnival, after all. And there we go. We've made it. And it takes us all the way to the top where a health pickup is waiting for us, and then we can jump on top of the, I guess, control building. And now we can look at the whole map. We are kings of this map now. All must bow before us. Hooray. Okay, now we can start to take these guys out. We've explored all there is to explore. Well, I suppose I could go inside the bomber, I can go inside the warehouse. There are other things to check out, but all of the important stuff has been handled. Axel, get the fuck back here. Why do you run away so much? Like, the way you are is the worst. We'd all be much better off if you changed. Oh my god, I hate you, Axel. Thank you. Goodbye. And now all that's left is for Darkside. Now here's the warehouse. A lot of good weapons in here. Got some gas cans, fire missiles. Got a fancy reticle hiding away in here. Or zoomy, I mean, it's a skill-based pickup. Randomized. And, hello. You've made a mistake, Darkside. Boy howdy, have you made a mistake. Okay, well, how about, homing missile? How about you get taken out by a homing missile, the weakest of all weapons? I hope you're happy. Well, that concludes our Twisted Metal Black first level. And now we're here with Twisted Metal Small Brawl, the next game in the series. We're backtracking to the PS1, but don't worry, this game is just as good. It is fantastic, and I can't wait to explore the first level because it is great as well. One of the best. And of course, we'll be going in as our favorite fella, Sweet Tooth himself. So the first level here is Playground Peril, and I think it's I guess, for me, it's the natural way to start this type of game. You know, the RC car, you know, more child-friendly spin-off to Twisted Metal. Put it on a playground. That's the first place you'd start. That is the day one idea. And they nailed it. Because the layout, no matter what, like, aesthetic or theme the layout takes, it is a great layout. A little bit of verticality, a lot of space to roam. You know, everything is visible for the most part. Like, it's just a nice, fun, fast-paced arena. You know, on top of it just being very fun and vibrant. And I can show off a little bit of the secrets, I guess you can call it, for this map, where you see Axel is on that swing set over there. So if we get a missile, we can shoot it. Oh, that was not right. There we go. We can shoot a missile right at that swing set, launching Axel into the playable area, where we can collect him, and now he's ours. Mom bought us a new toy. Now, Sweet Tooth ice cream cones are very fun. Like a Triple Rico that bounces all around. And this game went back to the, I guess, the more soothing way to start with just, I think it's 3 opponents when you first load in. So easing you into the game once again. And then later levels, of course, will bump that up. But just a nice way to ease yourself into it. The level's also very reactive and very destructible, which I'll try to demonstrate without dying. But like this tire can be blown up if given enough damage. Now, I hate to demonstrate this, but this duck, this rubber duck, who was our friend, he fights for us. He could be roasted. And he poops out goodies for us. So even though we hurt him, he still helps us. True friend. And now look at him go. Freaking out. And he turns into a roasted chicken. He's now ascended to his final form. And also, before I kill Outlaw, I want to show off one more thing on this opening level that I really do enjoy. If I don't end up dying. But this kid on the swings, on the merry-go-round, you can send this kid fucking flying. Look at him go. I think eventually he flies away, but I think we'll show him mercy just this once. And now we'll take out Mr. Outlaw. And that's your opening level for Small Brawl. Very fast, very fun. One of my favorites. If I had to rank them, that would be probably number 2. Alright friends, now we're here back to the PS2 after our short detour to the PS1. We're now doing Twisted Metal Head-On, the PSP game that was later ported to the PlayStation 2, giving us the extra Twisted edition. There's no difference between the PSP and PS2 versions as far as the first level goes. And it should be very fun. It's a Big Blue Stadium, not my favorite, but very solid. It's just, everything about this game is like, just fine. Not much more to say about it. And we'll pick our boy Sweet Tooth once again. He is our companion for this series, and that will not stop now. Now here we are on Big Blue Stadium. Not a whole lot going on. If you let that cutscene play out like normal, then you see on the stage there the band Level playing their hit song, Disaster Proof. And I'm pretty sure that Level only had one album, and it pretty much dissolved as an idea completely after that album, and so this is probably their biggest, most substantial thing they've ever done as a band. And I don't want to get DMCA striked by the one thing that they made that went anywhere. So shout out to Level for being, musicians in a cruel, cruel world. But we must silence them. And this level, not a whole lot going for it. It really just is a stadium, baseball stadium. Its layout is very fine. It's fine. Everything is just good. Everyone dies super easy, so collecting weapons, you don't need much to really dispatch the opponents too easily. The one unique thing about this level is that the stage can be destroyed. And so once again, Level, I apologize. You're all very talented, I'm sure. Your drummer's wearing sandals, which seems strange, but it's time to go. And there they go. Level has been leveled. Godspeed, friends. Now we have the dugout area, or whatever this is called. I don't know what this would be in a regular stadium. And the fun part about Head On is that each level does contain a minigame that we can go explore. This one's a lot of fun. It's if you ever thought Yellow Jacket didn't appear in that many Twisted Metal games, you're wrong. He appears in Head On as a taxi cab in this ramming minigame. So I think this, like, when someone who never, like, has seen Twisted Metal before, you just think, oh, it's a Demolition Derby. It's a fighting game in cars. I think this is what they imagine the game is. It's a very boring ramming minigame. But they're wrong. God, are they wrong. Now, this minigame is one of the few minigames that really just is impossible without a heavier vehicle, because these taxis, just I guess the way the ramming works in this game, the taxis will end up killing you faster than you can kill them. But me as this massive boy, Sweet Tooth, this rotund mass of clown ass, as some might call it, makes this very trivial. Really a lot of fun. I'm just tossing these boys around as if they are nothing. It's kind of annoying, actually. Like, this is a very tedious one because you don't do that much ram damage. Like, it's a very, very low amount of ram damage. I mean, the most I can do is like 16, I think. And they don't have that much health, but 16 is still pretty damn low. So yeah, anarchy on the wall, twisted, graffiti. Never noticed that before. Like, I guess it does change around the map slightly for this minigame. Can I destroy anybody? This is impossible. What the hell? Like, I thought this would be super easy, given, Sweet Tooth being huge, but it turns out no. Turns out it actually is very tedious, and I'm almost dead. Which I guess was my point earlier that, even Sweet Tooth is struggling, because these guys are doing damage to me, and it's fucking insane. Like, I'm running into them. They're not running into me. I should be the one winning these ram battles. Except for that guy. He really had it in for me that time. Dude, like, we both hurt each other. Come on, man. I don't think you should take damage if you're the one delivering the damage on a ram. That seems counterintuitive. Alright, come on, friend. Alright, yeah. Way to dip. You coward. You cowardly taxi. It's a Crazy Taxi spin-off, Cowardly Taxi. Oh my god, he killed me. He backed into me. What an asshole. Well, anyway, that's your fucking minigame. Fuck that thing. I hate it. Get it out of here. Don't ever show it to me again. 4 napalms. Jesus. That'll take somebody out real fucking quick. Come on, Axel. Come towards my remote bomb, buddy. There we go. Napalm cones for the win. Brought him back from TM2. Fantastic. And now let's give Twister a little parting gift. Goodbye, Twister. Oh, she evaded. She's too good. No way I can take her down now. Let's go for a sick bank shot. How about that? Nah, I didn't hit her. What a shame. How about this? Ah, that was so close. Well, that'll do it. And there's Big Blue Stadium taken down. Twisted Metal Head On, out of the way. Alright, now on to Twisted Metal Lost, the game that no one really knows about, but it's the playable version of the cancelled sequel to Twisted Metal Black. It gives you 3 levels that should have appeared in that sequel, but sort of retrofitted to fit within Head On. There's just 3 levels in the game, and so us playing this first level will give us a third of the total experience. And so, of course, we'll be going in as Mr. Sweet Tooth, taking on his form from Twisted Metal Black, but with a more muddy texture. And the first level here is Suburban Terror. Not much to say about it, just a very standard suburban map. I think it has a lot of neat little details to it, though. For instance, the church, you can see, a couple of, like, clowns, I guess. And, of course, weapons in this game are very minimal and don't do that much damage. And so we'll be here a little while trying to take these guys out. The bowling alley here, 13 lanes. I'm sure that's some sort of occult situation there, but little bowling pins. Not much you can do to interact with them. They don't really blow up or anything. They're just little 2D sprites. Of course, a lot of destructibility. All the chairs and tables and stuff can be knocked over. The big pizza boy, fella up there, could not be destroyed. He's just very happy to be around. And we support him. We stand a man who knows who he is. And of course, my special weapon does absolutely nothing to Mr. Roadkill. Embarrassing. The cool thing about Twisted Metal Lost is that the advanced attacks are mapped out to the triangle plus D-pad. They're much easier to deliver. A freeze, a shield, rear fire, whatever your heart could want. What is that? Happy Vito's is the pizza man's name. Not very often you see a pizza place have a statue almost as big as the building itself. But they paid a lot of money for that, so they must be doing pretty well. Now you have up here at the movie theater, you have at the Megaflix, Flash Jordan. I'm assuming that's a reference to Flash Gordon. You have Sphincter Man, unsure what that is. Boy Called Wonder, Incredible Hack, Teen Movie 4 at the old Excellent Flicks, as well as some movie posters flanking the walls here. Unsure of what that is. Something 2022. We've passed that year. Oh, what a simpler time. My god, dude, Sweet Tooth Special just fucking blows, dude. We have this one that says, I don't know, something from Beyond Space. I don't know, someone else could read that shit. You boy can't. Yeah, these movie posters do not scale very well as far as the up-resing that happens with the emulator. So unfortunately, it's hard to read some of these, but I'll try to explore as much as I can. Oh my god, just die, dude. Just fucking die. But if we follow this path up here, it takes us through the more suburban area. I've always found it kind of fascinating, this neighborhood, because there's like a lot of watchtowers with spotlights and stuff. The buildings seem very nice. Like, these houses are, would cost, like, in LA, probably like $1 million. Seems like a decent neighborhood, but they're, protected by these like watchtowers with, I'm assuming, like guns. So it makes you wonder what's really going on here. But the streets are clean, but at what cost? And of course, your swing sets here, take those out. And then you can see where the freeway is. That would take you to the other levels, should this have been brought to fruition. Because Harbor City would have connected all the levels together via freeways, sewers, tunnels, and so on. I'm going to take out 12-pack. Get him out of here. And we'll go into the movie theater now. And I suppose someone else can tell me what the rest of the references are for, the movie theater, all those different listings for the movies. Because, like, Incredible Hack, that's Hulk, obviously. Boy Called Wonder, not sure what that would have been. You have, God, I can't read this shit, especially when they're attacking me. Come on, guys. Chill out. Like, why are these so hard to read? Like, why can't they make these, like, intuitive names for shit? I want to know who went through all the effort of, like, creating these movie posters and then made them, like, illegible. Like, these are, like, legitimate movie posters. Like, they actually draw intrigue. Like, they make you wonder what the movie's about. Like, they're not, like, what you'd see in Hollywood or anything, but, like, they're actually pretty cool. Like, they're well designed. Now it's just called Sandstorm. Interesting. Here's the movie theater with not much going on in it. Just a couple of weapons. And roof access, as one might expect in a movie theater. I got a couple of guys close. Looks like Manslaughter just absolutely annihilated somebody. There he goes. He's gone now. He can't hurt us anymore. Of course, there's Raven in there. Although Raven has a character model in there. That's pretty interesting. Like, there's simultaneously less detail and more detail to all these characters. It's kind of strange. Come on, Junkyard Dog, come this way. Oh, you fool. How could you? A couple more areas to explore in this map. If we go around the back of the movie theater, we'll find the health bridge, which freaks out a little bit with emulation, but works all the same. That's all that's back here, just like a little alleyway. We could jump up here. Now we're behind the pizza place, and there's one more area that we have not touched yet. Back here's not really much. Yeah, just behind the bowling alley. But if we travel over here, my friends, we get this little other neighborhood section with this massive house, this ginormous building, flanked on all sides by watchtowers. Somehow, for some reason, I don't know. I don't know why. There's also a boat. I believe these people possess a boat, as well as a fountain. A lot of detail for something that we're really not meant to see. A little fountain and boat combo there. This whole neighborhood section devoted to this one house. I guess there's this other house there too. But there you go. There's Twisted Metal Lost, the first level, Suburban Terror. A lot of detail packed into what amounts to basically lost media. Very cool. Alright friends, here we are with Twisted Metal 2012. Possibly the most fun game in the series, gameplay-wise, or at least the most thoughtfully designed one. The first level here is on Sun Springs, California, what is really the quintessential Twisted Metal map you could think of. If someone tells you to draw a Twisted Metal map, like what is the cliche Twisted Metal map, it's going to be Sun Springs, California. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. It just is the perfect aesthetic, the perfect layout, the perfect nearly everything. It is fantastic. I love this map. When the Twisted Metal 2012 beta came out, the demo, a week before the game released, 2012, this was the one map you had access to. You could play this map with Death Warrant against 6 opponents, and that was basically it. But I was addicted. Like, that was enough for me to get hooked on the game. Like, the gameplay was just so satisfying, so fast-paced, that I was just hooked. It got me right then and there. And of course, they start the game off with the exact same setup. It's you, 6 opponents, on just a very well-designed map. This map is mostly symmetrical and very well laid out in general, but especially for the game modes that appeared in this game's multiplayer mode. For instance, the nuke mode. So you have two, opposite football fields. I think it's like North High and South High, which somehow they're scoring enormous points. I mean, 113 to 99 is not a realistic football score. I'm not convinced that these guys have ever seen a game of any sport being played. But either way, the nuke mode is perfect for this game mode, for this map, because of its symmetrical layout. But what I thought was really cool about this game is that the full layout of the map is not all you have access to. You can also break it up into smaller sections that can bring the action closer and make each game mode sort of work for each of these larger layouts. But it has everything you could ever want in a small town. You have little houses, you have your city hall with all of its Americana jingoism. You have your massive movie theater, which we can once again explore some of the movie names that they have going on here. So we have School of Shadows, Hearts for Roses, Apocalypse Warrior, Ball-Peen Hammer, Sauropod, Squidreds. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Hello, Crimson Fury, can you please stop interrupting? Very rude. Please leave. Squid Kids, Foreclosures, and what's that bottom one? Six Guns Sundown. There's a lot of fun movies there. I believe it's mirrored on this side too. Yeah, same movies. And we can actually see some actual legible movie posters this time on the walls in here. So there's Hearts for Roses, very generic rom-com looking thing. Ball-Peen Hammer, which I can only imagine is a horror movie about a sentient ball-peen hammer getting revenge. And all the times it's been cast aside, thrown around, not showing any respect. There's a School of Shadows, another seemingly like action horror film. Apocalypse Warrior, that's your Mad Max, I suppose. Squid Kids, it's Sauropod, coming fall 2011. So this movie would now be 13 years old, is Sauropod. Travel back in time for a tale like no other. Tale spelled T-A-I-L, because dinosaurs have big tails. You get the joke. In addition to that, there's this arcade where you can see War of the oh my Jesus, Warthog, please. Where you can see War of the Monsters and I believe Downhill Domination as some of these, as well as another. I think it's called Big. I think it says Big Daddy, which would be a reference to. Jesus Christ! Can I have like a little bit of room to breathe? Holy shit! Reference to Road Trip 2012. Would be Big Daddy, who was the main antagonist for that game. There's Squid Kids, your knockoff Finding Nemo. I'm spending a lot of time in this fucking movie theater. Jesus Christ. Can I just go? Why am I stuck? Hello, let me go, please. Please let me go. I cannot move. See the poster for a 6-gun showdown. I'm getting my fucking ass kicked. Let's get out of here. There's also a little grocery store across town, which you can go explore that. As I run over Reaper. Very silly for bringing a motorcycle to a car fight. What a fool. Looks like someone took out the clock tower. So now no one's going to know what time it is. The town will descend into chaos. Uncontrollably. Wildly. Terrifyingly. And now we're in the drugstore, the grocery store. As many dairy aisles and shopping carts are subject to destruction. Good luck all. Not much to say here, just a standard-ass grocery store. Hooray. Nice rear fire power missile. Struck him good. And now we have the hospital here, which is always a pain in the ass to traverse, because these winding ramps. Not always my favorite thing to go up. Not much to say either. Once you get to the top, it's really not much. Stalker missile, health. That's really it. And now we're on the other side with the other school. And there's also, if I can manage this, I can blow up this satellite dish. Alright, Darkseid, how about you fuck off? There you go, you're gone. Let's try to take out the satellite dish so we can get up to the upper level of this map. Now we'll flip around, and we'll destroy that satellite. Had it too good for too long, satellite dish. There it goes. It collapses, creating a ramp with its discarded remains. Come on, Sweet Tooth, you can do it. Actually, I know you can do it. You can fucking fly. What am I doing? I could have just flew up here the whole time. But not much up here. Just some rolling hills, some weapons scattered about. I would imagine this is more for like your special game modes when you're trying to evade people. Being able to sort of hide away in this upper section. Pretty lit, pretty cool. There's one more section of the map we haven't touched on yet, which would be the little mansion over there, which once again, not much going on. One neat trivia about this level is that... Oh, ran it. No more Turbo FL. So if you look at the church here, the man you see above the church doors, that is David Jaffe as the Pope. Which I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to think. It's just a weird piece of trivia about this game. Looks like Crimson Fury got some health, because I remember him being much lower than that. So I get rid of Warthog if he doesn't shield constantly. Yeah, stand still, sir. Ah, damn it, too slow. Sweet Tooth with no turbo is just unusable. He's way too slow. Now, once again, another big, tall pizza boy. Although this time he's changed out his pizza for a burger. This time around. Oh, how times have changed. Another playground there. We got a little coffee shop, Al Zubra Coffee. So I'm sure it's a reference to one of the developers trying to make a cameo in the game. And now we have this big old mansion here with some decent weapons. A lot of weapons. You're spoiled for weapons. Still not much to talk about, unfortunately. Sweet Dude's head is just being bonked on these chandeliers, poor guy. Unfazed, though. Completely unfazed. Oh, it can blow up the walls. There's a bedroom here. Very sparsely decorated house. Alright, it's time to finish off these opponents. We've seen all there is to see. But seriously, one of my favorite maps in the whole game. And really the whole series. Sun Springs, California, just fantastic. Just fits the tone, fits the vibe of Twisted Metal, in addition to just being a very well laid out map. It can be broken up in a bunch of different ways. Like you can have it just where you fight at the school, at the movie theater. It's called Grindhouse. You can have just the center of the map where it's like the, sort of, Americana style. Just, the destroy the familiar in your own backyard philosophy that Twisted Metal is known for. This map just encompasses that perfectly. It's time to track down Axel, our greatest threat. Our biggest foe. Now we can probably get him with a little bit of Sweet Tooth action. Let's go to the Friendly Skies and rain hell upon young Axel. There he goes. Taken out. Hooray. And there you have it. There's every Twisted Metal game's first level. I hope you enjoyed. It was a lot of fun to go through and see how each game sort of handled that first introductory stage. How they ease you into what they want to show off in the game. I would say each introductory stage for all the games, they sort of handle it in their own way, and I really can't fault anyone for doing what they did. I mean, every first level is pretty iconic. Arena Duel is probably the most lacking one, but it makes sense. Like, if you want the first level to sort of, introduce players to the idea of Twisted Metal, that being the very first game, it makes sense. It makes sense, and so I like that it's just a little duel. But thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and have a nice day.